there was an interesting example recently, which gets into a lot of issues in the book, but she, what was it that it was my birthday, and she brought out some of the champagne glasses that we have that are like 20 years old that my husband and I had. And, my instinct is to be like, what are you doing? You're going to break those, put those back. And I paused for a second and I said, what's your plan for those?
What are you going to do with that?
So trying to not tell her what to do, right? But also being open to the idea that she has something good planned, right? That she's trying to do something nice. So that idea that children are actually really pro-social, really want to help, really want to be good, and that we often jump to the conclusion that they're doing something wrong, that they want to play, they want to break it. So I try, and I still fall into that trap. But I said, what are your plans for those? And she said, I'm going to make you and Dad a special drink for tonight. And I was like, wow. And she did. She made these beautiful drinks with fruit in them. And she didn't break the glasses. But the old me would have yelled at her then, snapped and told her what to do and automatically assumed she was going to do something wrong. And even though I still kind of thought that, at least I gave her the opportunity to tell me and show me that she wasn't. She was actually planning something really beautiful and wonderful. And
that's so wonderful that you were able to catch yourself in that moment. Can I give you a really quick example of that as well that happened recently?
Sure.
My 2-year-old was on a table or something a little bit dangerous, and my 4-year-old comes, and I'm in the kitchen, I'm watching this. I'm thinking to myself, just let them be. They can figure it out. And my 2-year-old comes, I'm focused on something with the dishes, and all of a sudden I hear crying, and I see my 4-year-old holding on to my 2-year-old, and my 2-year-old struggling, and I'm worried because she could fall off this table and hurt herself.
Right.
And my first instinct, of course, is stop what you're doing. Look, you're hurting her. She could fall off the table. But I caught myself in that moment, and I'm like, Juniper, what's going on over there? I just ask her, and she says, Kimball's trying to jump. I'm holding on to her so she doesn't jump. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And that moment, again, I was like, I'm so thankful to myself that I didn't jump to conclusions, because the 4-year-old, it looked with no context that she was trying to throw her off the table or something like that.
Right, but she was actually trying to help her.
She was trying to help her. Oh my goodness. So absolutely. I have so many questions, and I feel like we're still in this context setting mode, but I'm having a really good time, and I think
sorry.
No, this is really good. I'm wondering, why is that instinctual for us, while it seems that the Maya culture in Mexico, the Hadzabe, the Inuit culture, these ancient cultures that you visited, they're not reacting in this way? What's going on here?
It's such a good question. And I don't know why it is the way it is, but in the last probably, I'd say 150 years or so, in Western culture, in the dominant culture of America, there has been this shift to thinking that children are really nefarious. They have these nefarious motivations. They're up to no good. And they don't want to be up to good, right? They want to hurt the child. They want to mess up the glasses. They have, it's a very antisocial view of children. And it's been documented in the scientific literature. And when you go to many other cultures, like the Maya, the Inuit, the Hadzabe, parents say the opposite. Children are inherently want to do good. They don't know how. And I think what happens is when you come at it so it's your job to teach them, right? So your Juniper is your 4-year-old? Is that
Juniper,
right?
yes. Juniper, 4-year-old, and Kimball's my 2-year-old, yes.
Yeah, so she wanted to help the little one, right? And you coming in, and if a parent comes in and starts yelling at her, not only is it like starting tension between you and the child, right? But the parent has also neglected to see the child's contribution, right? And I remember even as a kid, this happening to me. Like I'm trying to help something and my dad would come and yell at me. Even though like I wanted to say to him, like, but I'm trying to be helpful. And what happens over time is there's this big tension between you, the parent, and the child, but also the child stops wanting to help because they try and they get yelled at. You know, it's just kind of this horrible snowballing thing. Why it's happened, I think it probably has something to do with religion, something to do with a switch around 150 years ago where psychologists started telling us that children should only play, that their job in the family is to play, and they shouldn't be working.
Yes.
And of course, we're not telling that children shouldn't play. It's actually the opposite. There's a lot of play. But what the book is bringing is that children have like this innate desire. They have this innate need. And there's a lot of psychology to support this, to help their family and to contribute to their family. And it makes us human. And seeing that in young children and then embracing it and helping them and guiding them, and that will make that desire grow over time and will build this incredible connection between you and the child. Whereas not seeing it and even saying the child is hurting or not helping, will do the opposite. And this is a major part of, I think, what's wrong in a lot of families and with kids, and is that kids want to help. They're trying to help and contribute to their family, and parents don't see it. And in fact, parents get angry or they tell them to go play.
Yeah.
There's a beautiful story. I was talking to Angela Lopez. She's a psychologist, and she has a 2-year-old. I think she's Mexican American. She's a 2-year-old, and she was telling me that her little 2-year-old wants to help with the laundry. And I was like, well, what does that look like? And she says the 2-year-old comes over and starts throwing the laundry, but also starts kind of balling it up. And she said, I interpret the balling up of the laundry as her trying to fold it. And this is just, to me, that's just so beautiful, and is like stuck in my head because I would just say she's balling up the laundry, but she was as a Mexican American, she was interpreting as the child really trying to fold it up. And she said, so, then I teach her like, okay, yeah, you fold it and then we put it in the drawer, right? And so she's already like seeing the child in a very pro-social way and embracing that and encouraging that and bringing that along versus, oh, you're just playing with the laundry and you want to make a big mess. Go play. I need to finish this, which is the way I would interpret a 2-year-old balling up the laundry. So I always now try to look at Rosie's behavior as like, where's the balling of the laundry? What is she really trying to do? Is there somewhere in there is something pro-social? And if I don't know, then I ask.
I love that.
Because she's 6 now. So, what are your plans?
What are your
when
plans?
in doubt, ask. What are, like you did, like what's going on?
What's going on over there? I hear crying. No, I love this.